Hi betting experts, a traditional ITV 7 on Saturday covering the best of the action from Kempton, Newcastle and on the all-weather at Southall. The ground, well at Kempton I think things have improved. Certainly a drier day Friday and Saturday through the day. I think it'll be good to soft. It dries very quickly at Kempton. Newcastle likely to be extremely testing, and obviously Southall, the all-weather surface. We start off with our betting expert Daily Nap, sponsored by Bet365. This goes in the 150 at Kempton. The Adonis, a grade 2, over 2 miles. Some very promising juveniles here, and none more so than Harry Derham's Give Me 5. Now, Derham is an excellent trainer, a former pupil of Paul Nicholls, which is always a recipe for success in the jumping game. He's got some really nice young horses in the yard, and I think this one can handle the jump up in class to grade 2 company. He really impressed me in landing hefty market confidence at Market Raisin and Warwick so far. His jumping definitely improving from the first run to the second, and I think this relative test of speed on eased decent ground should be ideal under the vastly improved jockey Paul O'Brien. Our betting expert value angle selection, sponsored by Bet365, goes into 227. It's the Pendle, a novice chase, a grade 2 over 2 mile, 4.5 furlongs, and I like Blow Your Wad here of Tom Lacey. Now, this Scopy novice has already shown in December that this course and distance suits him ideally, quite impressing there with the turn of foot he showed to put a pretty competitive handicap to bed. He's had an excuse since for a lesser effort at Cheltenham. I don't think that's his track, and he got messed about in rear in a race where Ginny's Destiny was seen at a tactical advantage against that far rail, making all the running. I think that form is very good, and I think he shaped a good deal better than the bare result. He is now obviously up into a grade 2, but this race lacks any superstars. I think he's a very fair price at the moment, and Stan Shepherd knows him really well. He'll be looking to swoop late. The remaining 5 races on ITV, we'll do them in time order. Up to Newcastle, likely to be one of the bigger betting races of the afternoon. The 208, the Ida, a real slog in the mud this, 4 miles, 1.5 furlongs, excellent prize money on offer. A slightly disappointing field. I think Christopher Wood is a very interesting runner for Venetia Williams, whose horses have returned to form after a quiet period. Not surprisingly, given that the rains suddenly reappeared and everywhere's heavy again, and that tends to signal Venetia hitting form. And I think Christopher Wood, who hadn't been tried over these kinds of trips for his whole career, he's 9 now, until he was sent to Musselburgh in the Edinburgh National up there. And I thought he ran really well. He got beaten quite a long way, but that was a funny race. Inisor made most of the running and strung them out all over the shop. And Christopher Wood, if you actually watch him crossing the line, he was running on quite strongly into remote third. So I don't think this trip will be any problem at all. He's got Charlie Deutsch taking over from Danny McMenamin. He's a double-figure price. I think he'll go really well. He should now be fully fit after a couple of runs this season. Over to Southall, a classy card on the all-weather, not something you hear every day. The 245, the Heaver Sprint Stakes, a listed contest. Well, Diligent Harry has got a cracking record on all-weather surfaces, 6 wins from 10 starts away from the turf. Clive Cox is going really well with his small team over the winter months, and I think this will be set up ideally for him to swoop late under John Fahey. He's fully fit, and that should count for plenty here. Back to Kempton for the Dovecote at 3 o'clock, another grade 2, over 2 miles this time. Well, Secret Squirrel is an extremely useful performer who's now getting the hang of jumping for Hughie Morrison. He did look quirky when denied on the nod at Taunton earlier in the month. David Bass, I think, panicked a bit there, made a slight mistake at the last and got beaten by a useful one of Paul Nicholls in what was a match, but the pair really flew clear up the straight, and I think Kempton will be absolutely ideal on improving ground for Secret Squirrel. I think he's definitely going to go close to under optimum conditions with a different jockey up. Back to Southall for the 320, the Winter Derby, a Group 3. Well, Lord North's got loads in hands on the ratings. I suppose it's just a question of whether he's fully fit. He hasn't been seen out since Maidan in March 2023, but he's got a good record fresh. He's actually won 10 of his 20 career starts so far, all around the world, and he's potentially a grade or 2 above these rivals under Rab Havlin. And finally, back to Kempton for a really competitive Premier Handicap chase over 3 miles. A pretty disappointing turnout, but Forward Plan just failed to do us a real turn last time out. At Doncaster in January. We were on that day. It was a value angle selection, and Forward Plan, I thought he probably should have won. He made up an awful lot of ground to challenge Annual Invictus and then just got denied on the nod. I mean, Annual Invictus went off 5 furlong pace and spread them out all over the place and somehow managed to hang on, but Forward Plan is basically progressive and likeable, and I think he really does want slightly better ground and he should get it here. Best of luck on Saturday, betting experts, and please remember to like and comment on all of our YouTube videos.